to my parents, my mother, who introduced me to Bhagavad Gita, my Guru, Swami Nirbhayananji Saraswati from Ramakrishna Vivekananda Ashram, and Swami Chinmayanandaji, who introduced me very young when I was in fourth standard through Bala Vikas Kendras. And as I said, all of you who have been contributing and making me come prepared. That's a great motivation, great learning. And it is divine grace that we sit across and spend some time. So, with that, now we come to chapter 10, ninth shloka. So far, we have discussed about different types, different chapters. Krishna, after elevating Arjuna from his deep sorrow, indecisiveness, anxiety, uh, in the first chapter. From there, he has moved on to motivate him. And once Arjuna is convinced, with every uh, part of Bhagavad Gita, probably Arjuna is getting motivated and convinced about Krishna's words of truth. Krishna is indeed his friend, but that doesn't mean that Arjuna has to agree to whatever Krishna said. But there was a lot of logic in what Krishna said, and there was a lot of surrender in Arjuna, and he considered him to be beyond an ordinary human being. Therefore, he listens all eyes and ears. He listens to every word of Krishna. Every shloka gives him more and more confidence that this is the real truth and this is what I should be aspiring for. And the same thing has happened to us also, isn't it? With every chapter, every shloka, every discussion, every interaction that we have, we get convinced that this is definitely something we should be aspiring for, and this is something which we should adhere to, whatever he says, and that is going to lead us to something better than what we are now. And we all know it is nothing but a permanent solution for all our problems, and that is the attainment of supreme being. Liberation is nothing but attainment of supreme being. That is our goal. We are going there, and Krishna insists that make that as your supreme goal. Make me as your supreme goal. So, in this chapter, this is called Vibhuti Yoga, glimpses of the divine glory. In this chapter, in the previous chapter, he talked about deepest secret, why spirituality, why understanding me, why this path of spirituality is so deep and profound, and why it is accessible, understandable to only few people, those who really want to, go in this direction. Therefore, it is very much hidden mystery. He explains what is the hidden mystery, the same truth about consciousness, about his presence in each and everything, whatever is there, whatever is seen outside, apart from what is within. In this chapter, he goes on to explain uh, and guide us to see in everything and every action his existence. Though it is Prakriti, that is my manifestation. Without me, the Prakriti is also is his only, his creation. But it is made to appear. It exists, it sustains only because of me, and see that. So, as I said, Swami Ranganathananji's introduction in this chapter also has been very beautiful. This makes all of us understand that always meditation or worship or being closing our eyes and sitting in that contemplative mode is not possible, because we all are working for something. It is not possible, and we have to work. We have to work because it is a collective work of this nature of people. We cannot sit idling. Our roles and responsibilities have to happen. If we understand that it is his manifestation in whatever is appearing outside, then we will rejoice and we will enjoy particularly the spiritual seeker, will now think that everything is his and I'm enjoying his world because he is manifesting here, he is manifesting there. And without him, nothing can be, even this bottle will not be existing. So, with that concept in mind, an individual will enjoy his work much more than what he would have done without this knowledge. That is a this is called the power of manifestation is vibhuti. Swami Ranganathananji has defined power of manifestation. Whatever is seen, what is the power in that? That is nothing but the consciousness. That is nothing but Krishna. That is nothing but his vibhuti. So vibhuti yoga. And then he continues. Of course, it is all divided in so many chapters, but it's continuation of his teachings. So with that, we had left in the 8th shloka, where he says, Aham sarvasya prabhavoho mattah sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the origin of all. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. And from me, everything evolves. Pravartate. It develops. It continues to evolve. Growth and differentiation, everything. From me only. From me, it takes birth. From me, it grows. Whatever. Anything in this world. Iti matva. Thus, thinking, the wise worship me with loving consciousness. This word is bhava samanvitaha. Mam buddha. Buddha is wise. Bhava samanvitaha. Bhava means bhavana, emotions. What is that emotion? Love is the emotion. Consciousness is there. It's not abstract. Full of love is consciousness. And we have to consciousness aware. Here it is awareness. With full of, that means becoming one with him. That consciousness also can be, we can interpret in that way also. You should be in that consciousness, but with bhakti. I mean, do not detach that emotion of love just because you go to consciousness. I hope I'm clear. We have to worship. We have to remember him. All through there should be a feeling of love. Even today in the next shloka also it comes, and after one or two shlokas. So now he says, after that, Machitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So, with their minds wholly in me, totally, entirely fixed in me, Machitta, Madgata Prana, with their senses absorbed in me. It's not only senses, it's the prana. What is this prana? We have discussed, no? It is a life force, life energy. Mind is different, prana is different. Machitta, Madgata Prana, Bodhayantaha Parasparam, something different. These Bodhayantaha means they enlighten each other. Who? The Bhaktas. Bhaktas, the people who are devoted to me, spiritual seekers, Arjuna, their mind is entirely fixed on me. Their prana is completely absorbed in me. And they, among themselves, enlighten each other about me. Look at that. They enlighten each other. Whatever he knows, he tells her or him and his friend also. In other words, they have a company of people who keep enlightening each other about spiritual things. And Pathayantascha Mam Nityam. Nityam means always. You know that. Always Krishna has been using Nityam, Nityam, Satatam. Always. He says consistency. So, Kathayantascha Mam Nityam. They keep, they speak about me. Always they discuss, enlighten each other and speak about me. And Tushyanticha, Ramanticha. They are very satisfied. Very, very satisfied. Their heart is full. They don't want anything. And they're delighted. Ramanticha. They're delighted. They enjoy. They rejoice. So people, the bhaktas, who are completely involved, that means who, the wise people, in the previous shloka he says, no? Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava. Those who love those who worship him with loving consciousness, continued from the previous shloka, they give their mind to me, fixed on me. Completely their mind is absorbed in me. They give the entire prana, all life energies to me. And when they meet their friends, they discuss about me only. And they enlighten. I have read this, I have read this, I have heard this, I read Purana. This is how they discuss. And they're satisfied and delighted. So here he's trying to bring that um, the people are so much absorbed that they're all absorbed and also they enjoy. Bhakti or worship should not be considered as a burden, or it should not be considered as a checklist. Today I did bhajan, today I did puja, today I did meditation, today I surrendered. So it should not be a mechanical thing. It should be a delightful experience. That experience must be enjoyed thoroughly. Then it implies that we have grown in spirituality. It is only, I mean, this happens for advanced cases of bhakti, and this is where we are supposed to reach. Before reaching there, what can be done as a self effort? Because if you put that effort, the grace will also start flowing. We always discuss this, isn't it? So, what is that effort which takes us to divinity? These people are enlightening each other. But when two individuals like you and I, ordinary average people, we discuss, what do we discuss? We discuss about so many worldly things. We enlighten each other about the recent movie release. Who is this actor? Which jewelry did I buy? Where did I buy? Isn't it? Most of the time, we are all engrossed in our worldly things. Slowly, we have to reduce that. Or else, there could be criticisms, gossips, very common. For an average majority, majority of us are average. Majority of the people, the common topic of discussion, politics or gossip, talk about the third person, or discuss about the worldly things. In contrary to that, the spiritual seekers are always in his mood. I mean, I'm just telling a general statement. It doesn't apply to specific persons. I'm telling generally, don't take it to yourself. But spiritually advanced, or if you have started disliking these kind of talks, that means you are in the process of great evolution. So this is how Krishna says bhaktas means they should not be, they always develop delight talking about me. They enjoy my company. They enjoy my presence. They enjoy, they are satisfied. So these are at least people should not discuss negative things. Then it pulls us towards divinity. Stop negativity, reduce gossips. Overnight may not be possible. Let's stop talking about the third person, which doesn't matter to us. If it's bothering us, and if you feel you are right, if we are asking for some solution, then it's justified. Otherwise, just talking, just whiling the time, not only about gossips, even worldly matters. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is considered to be Avatar Purush again, but always he is. It was proved in the end. So once when he lived in Dakshineshwar, he had his own. There was a veranda in near Kali temple, and there are some women who had come to see him. And who will come to see him? Only those who really appreciate, his deep knowledge, wisdom, and he's going into samadhi. All those things had become very famous. So these three ladies are sitting on the bank of that river, Ganga. All of these people used to come by boat from Calcutta, and then they used to spend the day in Dakshineshwar and go back. So after lunch or so, they had some free time. They are sitting and chatting for such a long time about some family affairs. All are useless gossips. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he was inside. He was not sleeping, but he heard them. Then he came out and he scolded them left and right. He says, all the while we were discussing about Parabrahma, Lord, Kali, about spirituality. The minute that is over, you are coming and discussing nonsense here. And he literally he shoos them out. He says, "This is not done. At least in my place, it should not be done." So he used to be so much in that mm, vibration, that mode, that even slightest of deviation from divinity would irritate him. Such was his sadhana. Of course, as I said, he had come, he is an avatara Purusha who has come to demonstrate that it is possible by a human mind to reach that state. In fact, he tells Swami Vivekananda, "Have you seen God?" Vivekananda, Narendra asks him. He says, "Yes, I have seen and I will show you." So such was his dedication. Now, to such people, what does Krishna do? He says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te tesham eva anukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha नाशयामि आत्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. These are most crucial statements in today's session, actually. So, what does Krishna says is, what does he say? Tesham satata yuktana. Again, nitya yukta, satata yukta. These bhaktas, who are those? He says, mat gata prana, mat chitta, kathayantascha mam nityam, tushyanti, ramanti. That means those who have their mind on me, who have surrendered their pranas on me, they always speak about me, they are satisfied, they are delighted. For these, and who are satata yukta, continues, tesham satata yuktanam, again he is putting some conditions. Tesham, for them, for such people who are satata yuktanam, always in a state of yoga. Yoga means always connected to him, always following the practices of yoga. Bhajatam priti purvakam. They worship me or serve me. Worship means, bhajatam means worship. It could be in the form of service, offering the work, or conventional worship. Priti purvakam. Again, he brings this. Priti purvakam means with affection, with love. We have discussed in the 8th shloka also. Loving consciousness. Here also he says, whatever you do, do with love for me. That means you should, it's not because somebody has told you to do. So, priti purvakam. So, to them, satata yuktanam, those who are steadfast and serving me with affection, dadami buddhi yoga. I offer them buddhi yoga. We'll discuss what it is. By which, yena mam upayanti te. I will give them buddhi yoga through which they come unto me. They come unto me. So, what are all the characteristics, requirements, prerequisites we discussed so far? They should be satata yukta, mind fixed, prana fixed. Discussion also should be topics of their discussions also generally about him, satisfied, delightful. So, with all this, they enjoy being with him. They enjoy in positive talks. They avoid gossips. They avoid wasteful talking. They do not waste time in talking. Such people, and they worship me with Priti Purvakam, with lot of love and affection. For them, I shall give Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga. What is this Buddhi Yoga? Buddhi. So that makes Buddhi Yoga is one where there is a special divine grace. Always this buddhi is the one which is feeding the mind and the senses of different thoughts or actions. Isn't it? Buddhi is the uh, uh, faculty of mind only, which guides the mind and the senses to either think this way, talk this way, act this way. And that buddhi, if it is with yoga means with God, it's connected to your God. If God gives them that kind of buddhi yoga, the entire attitude will change. He gives Buddhi Yoga means he gives a right attitude. Such people, without their knowledge, as I said, we should avoid gossiping, we should avoid negativity. This is our effort. And then what happens is his grace will start coming. Then we start worshipping. We start feeling, oh, yo, this is better, no? Why my mind is something you observe. When you talk some things which are not going to be, it need not be negative, ultra negative, but something which is not worth the time versus something we discuss about Krishna, Bhagavad Gita. The mental energy is so high, the vibrations frequency is so high, you feel so good. So then you will start thinking, let me talk about this, let me go in this direction. So you'll start doing, you'll start following. Then the grace also will come together with each other's support, human effort and divine grace. It will add momentum to that. It will add more energy to that, this process. And then what will happen is Krishna says, at that point of time, I give them Buddhi Yoga. Apart from that is a grace, more of grace as Buddhi Yoga. He may not give us worldly pleasures or luxury or comfort or anything, but he will give us a right attitude. I'm using the words by Swami Ranganathananji. Proper thinking, proper perception, understanding. He gives right attitude. So when our consciousness is at a, we are all interacting with people. Many people are superficially, most of us are in superficial world. We interact, we feel bad, sometimes we are good, sometimes we are bad. And sometimes the buddhi tells you go this way. Buddhi also behaves in a very peculiar way. It's a decisive faculty of the mind. That also decides based on our samskars, our conditioning, our habits, all that it will give. So we are not always in a state of calm mind. But when this Krishna, when we develop more bhakti with love, with delight, and we also start putting effort, that grace that comes will settle this mind totally in a very, very, very peaceful state. So most of the times, bhaktas, such bhaktas who receive divine grace, who receive buddhi yoga, are, you can observe them, they're very calm. They not that they are incapable, inefficient, incompetent. No, it may appear like that, but basically they ignore small things. They give value to higher things. These people come, they appear as very knowledgeable, mature person, and um Swami Ranganathananji say they become ultra positive, very, very positive. Positive and take people also in the positive direction. Their company is good, and effortlessly they are naturally good, naturally moral, ethical. These become their routine. They are so ethical, they just cannot think of being unethical. If they find unethical practices, they move away from such places. They do not like to stay in unethical environment because that defines them, such people. So this is the change in the behavior they get with bhakti. So as we have discussed in the previous chapter, dharma is behavior in the society, amrita is immortality. Amrita, dharma, amrita is within, dharma is outside. People who develop bhakti, the greatest uh, what I should say, benefit they get out of that from Krishna is their entire personality gets transformed. Personality transformation. Personality transformation. Therefore, always we have to make the right choice and put consistent effort. Make the right choice at any point of time. Many times we deviate and we slip. But if we are aware through meditation, through constant remembrance, then that consciousness will not allow us to slip. It will hold you back. And more you practice this restraint from going down along with senses and wasting our time here and there, rather withholding those and then focusing on Krishna. So these developments will instigate more divinity to be pouring on us, reflecting on us. That is Buddhi Yoga. That is the right attitude. And then, as I said, you will become naturally divine, dharmic. You become more, dharmic means not ritualistic. You will become more ethical, more moral, more loving, more compassionate. So all this will start love, concern, dedication, extraordinary performance in your work. Today, I visited my old company. Actually, I that is called Natural Remedies Private Limited, where I used to work in research and development. And I met the senior most, is a owner of that company. He was COO 20 years back. I left that company in 2002. Now somehow I got reconnected for some collaboration, and when we spoke, he has uh, got into Vipassana yoga, so much so. The more, I mean, we went for a technical discussion. After some 20-25 minutes, both of us started talking about spirituality and how he has changed himself, and how he spends 10 days in retreat in Vipassana yoga that is given by, it's a Buddhist philosophy, but for us, everything is same, and all those things. So, there we were discussing that only spirituality can bring so much of change in somebody's performance or output or productivity, which we call it as success these days. So that is guaranteed if people get into spiritual practices. Without calling him also, people can perform, because Krishna is there within our body to give that chaitanya, chaitana energy. As I said, whether you want to choose wicked path or virtuous path, I will give you energy. But you have to face the consequences. This is a funda. But there are people who are not wicked, who are working for output, and they get stressed out, and then they complain because they have not been able to complete their tasks and all that. Little bit of spiritual inclination, or people who are already in spiritual, little more of spiritual practices and dedication. Bhagavad Purana Kapila says spiritual practice and dedication. So little meditation and surrender with lot of love to Krishna or any God, whomever you think, who represents Parabrahm. If we do that, then you can see very, very tangible, very visible, um, measurable changes in your output performance plus reduction in stress. There is no doubt in this. That's what we were discussing, that everybody should tap the consciousness within. And this science of tapping the consciousness, no, it is like, as I said, when you go and ask for funding for your companies, people are going to invest. That is what I did today. But you know, um, for angel investors, but this investor, the consciousness, is so powerful that little bit inside. And what does he want? The way you present your research work or whatever, he wants surrender. He wants complete surrender. He wants this love, empathy, compassion to be exhibited for everybody. So that if we do, then he brings he brings that um, right attitude, buddhi yoga. When buddhi yoga comes, all these virtues will come: love, compassion, ethics, morals, everything. And that will attract so many things around you that your work becomes a very, very easy task. Productivity increases. But the true sense, that's not all. What should truly develop, when we continue, we should not stop there. When the productivity comes, when the success comes, we should not stop there. Our connection to him should build up more. And as we do that, then later we will start reducing our external work, so that we spend more time contemplating, more time which things really matter, and reduce our work, concentrate on physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual growth. So this will come when Mad Bhakta, Madgata Prana, and Ramanti, Tushyanti, all those he has to. Next he says, what does he do? In addition to that, Tesham eva anukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha नाशयामि आत्मभावस्तो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. What else will I do for these people? He says, tesham eva anukampartham. He develops compassion, out of mere compassion for them, because they are looking up to me, they are coming to me. Then I have compassion for them, and I abiding in their heart, Aham, what do? I will destroy the darkness in them, born out of ignorance, by luminous lamp of knowledge. Nashayami Atma Bhavastu. I literally, he says, I will sit in their heart. Is he not sitting? He is already there. But his manifestation, he will start expressing more. You will start feeling more of that, calmness. Something is there. Something is making me feel so cool. Something is making me not bother. Something is giving me so much of immunity to whatever insults or adverse situations that are happening around me. Still, my God, I'm not at all perturbed. Why is it that happening with you? It is because Krishna says he has compassion. If you are a true devotee, if you have practiced, it's not just, doing namaskars or whatever. We should continuously, with love, surrender mind, senses, buddhi. How do we surrender? Mentally. We just say Krishnarpana. Krishna, it's all yours. It's all yours. It's all yours. I am just an instrument. You are the energy. So these things, if we keep reminding again and again, again and again, just be in meditative mood, come out of meditation, surrender everything, show love and compassion to everybody, again surrender and enjoy life. No stress. Where is the stress? Absolutely no stress. Because he says, Anukampartham. See, so much of compassion. He says, I will develop compassion. When he himself is showing so much of compassion, automatically we become compassionate. That again adds another step above. He shows compassion, he makes us compassionate, we earn points, again we go up, more compassion from him. So that is how a spiritual seeker will progress. And he says, out of mere compassion, abiding in their hearts, he is all Atma Bhavastha. That means he will give us more awareness about his consciousness. We will become more aware about his presence. Now, if you take in a day, how many times we become aware? Very less time, because we are engrossed. We are not even aware of what we are doing, leave alone his presence, his consciousness. But in such situation, when our bhakti progresses, more and more we put efforts, he starts manifesting. And above all, in the previous shloka, we talked about buddhi yoga. Here he says, because of that buddhi yoga, there will be a kind of, I will light the lamp of knowledge, jnana deepena bhasvata. I will clear all their ignorance, all their misconceptions. About what is the misconception? Entire suffering of human being is because of our wrong perception, isn't it? Dukkha will not be dukkha if we understand properly. Last time somebody mentioned, I think Padmini was saying, it depends on how we take it. Why do we say this statement? Because you have become wiser. So only people with wisdom will say, otherwise people say life is totally, actually it is suffering. Krishna himself says. But as you grow, we will start saying these statements. What statement? It depends on how we take it. So how will you take it? When Krishna is within our heart, when spiritually we are evolved, then we know how to take it. We know how to address it at one level. As you go higher at another level, as you go still higher at third level. So the understanding also grows tremendously until such point where we realize or we experience Vijnana Yoga, Jnana Vijnana. This is Jnana. Until one point of time we realize, where is the dukkha, where is the suffering? There is no suffering. I and suffering are one. Everything is one. There is no duality existing. That is the ultimate. But until then, for every problem we face, for every difficulty we face, for every thing which we don't understand here also, because every time we discuss no Prakriti, Purusha, what is this complex thing we are not able to understand. This is where he comes into picture. More bhakti will make us understand the same principles which we would not have understood. Same principles. So it's looking good, but still I'm not getting it. This is what we feel. But he says, more bhakti, more surrender everything to me. I will take care. I will come and clear your ignorance. That is why the Upanishads and others say, no, asatoma. Asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutangamaya. We chant this always when we light a lamp. So he is saying that I will destroy the darkness in them by lighting the lamp of knowledge. In any community you take, lighting the candle, lighting the deepa is considered to be auspicious and more nearer to divinity, because divinity means clarity, divinity means understanding, divinity means knowing the truth. That is why we light the lamp every day when we do puja. Evening particularly, we light the lamp so that asatoma. Let the sloka which Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says is asatoma satkamaya. Lead me from asat, unreal to real. Prakriti to purusha. Unreal is maya, lower reality, to the real, absolute truth. Lead me from asat to sat. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. From darkness to light. Darkness is ignorance. Light is the knowledge. When the knowledge comes, everything becomes very, very clear. Until then, either we don't see anything, or we see partially, or we see little better. But clarity is when complete knowledge destroys our ego, our ahankara, all the gunas, it will destroy. Then everything is crystal clear. That happens when he actually starts manifesting in our heart. Manifesting means he's always there. All this talking, listening is manifestation. This manifestation is a special, that means that is his unique manifestation, when he becomes very, very clear. So we say asatoma, lead me from unreal to real. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, lead me from darkness to light. And Mrityorma Amritangamaya, lead me from death to immortality. What is immortality? It is a liberation. From the cycle, death means cycle of birth and death, lead me to that liberated state. This is a very, very famous and popular and very important shloka, which we all should chant actually. Satoma Sadgamaya. Tamasoma, Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma, Amritangamaya. So this all happens, and also Gayatri mantra also. In the previous shloka, we talked about the buddhi. What does the Gayatri mantra say? Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Suvitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodaya. Dhiyo, Dhi means buddhi. So everybody is asking for this knowledge and buddhi. Buddhi Yoga, Buddhi, give us the right attitude, right perspective, so that we are at peace, so that we get liberation. So Krishna is, he has not yet started explaining his vibhutis. Now Arjuna asks. But he's talking about Yo Bhajante, those who see me, those who surrender to me. He is continuing, but he is explaining from a different angle. So he says, such people, I will remove their ignorance. In the previous Bhagavad Purana class, no, we had a discussion on where Shiva and Daksha Prajapati, they have a great argument and fight because Daksha feels, his father-in-law of Shiva, he feels that Shiva has not respected him. So in that, he curses Shiva and he abuses him with lot of many words are there. It was actually very, I should say humorous also for us. We really were surprised to see the way they were using those words. In turn, Shiva curses him, Daksha only. He says, may your wisdom be lost. You are so much attached to Vedic rituals and all those external things, be there only. Drown in samsara. May your wisdom be lost. That means from time immemorial, this wisdom, knowledge, buddhi is given so much of value that it is a treasure to be nourished so much. That is our greatest treasure. Greatest treasure is our spiritual growth, because this is adding on to the next birth also. This is like our investment in our entire journey, soul journey. Our share markets and stocks are investments only for this life. That also we don't know. Something goes wrong and then pralaya we are done. Even if you become knows in pralaya or some bomb blast happens here, and if I die, what am I going to take? My wisdom, my spiritual uh, treasure, accumulation of this wisdom, jnana. This is very important. That is why Shiva curses him. Shiva is a very, very knowledgeable person, always in Krishna consciousness, Vishnu Narayana consciousness. He tells that. So he tells this is how, that means what I'm trying to say, this knowledge and removal of ignorance is so important that most always we suffer because of our ignorance. Ignorance is nothing but maya. What is that maya? Whatever is happening is real. Somebody criticized me, somebody abused me, somebody insulted me. Some situations are not favorable to me. Everything is maya only. It is not real. After all, we are going to cross this. So take that. So these kind of thoughts will come when we follow bhakti. And also light has got a very, very, light always dispels darkness, isn't it? And knowledge is compared to light. And a person who is evolved, if you remember, we have, if a person who is evolved will always uh, favor some learning, some wisdom, some knowledge. Nothing else in the world matters to him. If you remember, we had one story in a Panchatantra, I think, story, or I don't know the source. So there is one guru, he wants to test the development of his students. No, I think father has three sons and he gives them some money. He says he wants to test them and he wants to see who is the real, you know, matured person among the three. He gives them some money, coins, and he says, bring something which fills this room. So one son goes and buys some wood or something. Another son goes and buys something else. So he says, this much is enough. He carries in the bullock cart and says, this much will fill this room. And another son brings something else like this. The third son brings a candle. And his father asks, you have brought just a candle. So he lights the candle and says, see, the light fills this room. Such a mature thought, no? Because he says, why to fill with all that filth and all some waste items? I have filled with light. So much of wisdom that boy has. So light is something which is always welcome for anybody, isn't it? Who wants to sit in the dark? So light of knowledge is what jnana deepena Jnanadipena Bhasvata. Jnanadipena Bhasvata. By the lamp of knowledge, brightening up everything. By luminous lamp of knowledge, I shall sit in their heart, I shall manifest. This is the assurance Krishna gives. Now, after this, Arjuna asks, now these are simple shlokas. We can complete them and then go in the next class. We will see further expansion. Now, Arjuna says, अर्जुन उवाच परं ब्रह्म परं धाम पवित्रं परमं भवान् पुरुषं शाश्वतं दिव्यम् आदिदेवम् अजं विभुम् आहुस्त्वां ऋषयः सर्वे देवर्षिः नारद तथा असितो देवलो व्यासः स्वयं चैव ब्रवीषि मे सर्वम् एतत्कृतं मन्ये यन्मां वदसि केशव न हि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं विदुः देवानदानवाः स्वयम् एव आत्मना आत्मानं वेत्थ त्वं पुरुषोत्तम भूतभावन भूतेश देवदेव जगत्पते वक्तुम् अर्हस्य शेषेण दिव्या ह्यात्मविभूतयः याभिः विभूतिभिः लोकान् इमान् त्वं वाप्य तिष्ठसि कथम् Vidyamaham yogin Tvam sada parichintayan keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuyah kathaya truptirhi shunvato nasti me mritam. Now Arjuna says, Krishna, having said that, now Krishna would have given him an intro that now I'm going to tell about my different manifestation. So now Arjuna says, you are the supreme Brahman, Param Brahma, Param Dham. You are the supreme Brahman. You are the supreme abode. He is validating his through his understanding. Is whatever you told is correct, Krishna. You are the supreme Brahman. You are the supreme abode. And Pavitram, purifier. Pavitram is pure. Rather, we know he's pure. So it says purifier. The translation by Swami Ranganathan is, you are the supreme purifier and eternal and self-luminous Purusha. Purusham Shashvatam. Purusha is the Jivatma within us. The primordial Deva, Adi Deva, Ajam, birthless and all pervading. Vibhum, Ajam Vibhum, all pervading. You are Supreme Brahman. You are the Supreme Abode. You are the Supreme Purifier. Why purifier? We know when we show bhakti, Supreme Brahman, because none other. He is a creator himself. Krishna is a representative form, a person with a form, but he represents the formless Brahman, Supreme Brahman, Supreme Abode. He is because we reside in him, we go to him, and we go back to him after our death, after our pralaya or whatever. We don't go to him after death. We go to him once we are liberated, or when there is pralaya, momentarily. I hope you remember this. He is a supreme purifier because japa, namasmarane, and chanting, it destroys our bondage and our sins. So he purifies. He is eternal, no change, avyaya. Self-luminous Purusha. Self-luminous. He doesn't need anything to reflect, isn't it? So sun is the self-luminous body. And because of sun, everything is seen during daytime, isn't it? Because they reflect, they reflect the light from the sun. But sun doesn't need anything. So, except Parabrahman, of course. From Parabrahman, sun gets, otherwise, no. Likewise, he doesn't require anything. Self-luminous, you are the Purusha, self-luminous Purusha, you can manifest. And a primordial Deva, birthless, because no birth, no death, eternally he is there, and all pervading. He has understood, Arjuna has understood that I agree with you, Krishna, what you said is right. You are all pervading and you are the support for all. I think you mentioned one more. Yeah. Then he says, and ahustvam rishayah sarve devarshi naradastata asito devalo vyasaha swayam chaiva bravishite. So the same thing, so say all the rishis and Devarshi Narada, as well as other knowledgeable people like Asita, Devala, Vyasa. And the same thing you have also told to me. So Arjuna, in this conversation, after a long, for a long time, Krishna has spoken. So Arjuna kind of agrees to whatever he says. And he says, yes, you are this, you are that. I understand, not realize, but I understand. He accepts. He accepts Krishna because of his complete 100% faith in him. Then Sarvam etat rutam manye yanman vadasi Keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim viduhu devana danava. I regard all this that you say to me as true, Keshava. Sarvam etat rutam manye yanmam vadasi Keshava. Keshava is Krishna's another name. Vadasi means whatever you have told, I will completely accept this. Because neither the Devas nor Danavas know your personality. See, nobody knows unless, now we are also listening as Bhagavad Gita and we regard this as Krishna's own words. Otherwise, unless somebody spends some time reading or listening to somebody who has interacted with them or know them completely, nobody will understand. So he says, I consider all this to be true. Whatever you tell me, I accept it. And they others do not know your personality. Swayam eva atmana atmanam vettatvam purushottama bhuta bhavana bhutesha deva deva jagatpate. Verily, you yourself know yourself by yourself. So this is eva atmana atmanam vettatvam purushottama. O Supreme Purusha. So this nobody can understand you. The meaning of this is nobody can understand you, but you can understand yourself. In other words, this is a little complex, not confusing, but when we want to know ourselves, it is by ourselves only. And the same thing he is telling Krishna also. You yourself know yourself by yourself means it is like the Purusha himself knowing the senior Purusha, something like that. O Lord of beings, O Deva Devas, O ruler of the world, says. And he says, Vaktum arhasya sheshena divya hyatma vibhutayah yabhihi vibhutibhihi lokan iman tvam vyapya tishtasi. So he says, you must tell me, Vaktum arhasya sheshena. You must tell me all your divine attributes, divine manifestation, vibhuti. I'll be very happy to listen from your own mouth. Asheshena, don't leave anything. Entirely you should tell me. Everything you should tell me. Divyahi Atma Bhuta, your own divine manifestation. You yourself, you have to tell me this. And your divine attributes by which filling all these worlds you exist. Yavihi vibhutivihi lokan imantvam vapyas trishtas. Tell me whatever is your manifestation in this external world through which you have occupied, you have filled this world without any, anything left. You should completely tell me. Ashesha means nothing left. So that is how he says. And how much is the interest shown by Arjuna, you see? Says, everything you should tell Krishna. Don't leave anything. I want to know. He's standing on the Kurukshetra, but now his mind is totally, somebody was telling, I think Padmaja Swachila also mentioning, we are so much attracted to this Bhagavad Gita and all that we want to read. We don't feel like studying our subjects. We don't feel like doing other things. So like that now, Arjuna is totally engrossed. He's tasting that nectar of this, they say Amritam, no? He's tasted that. He's feeling so happy that he says, do not stop. And then he says, Katham Vidyam Ham Yogin Tvam Sada Parichintayan. How shall I, O Yogi? He addresses Krishna only as Yogi, meditating on you, Sada Parichintayan. Katham Vidyam Aham Yogin. How do I constantly meditating on you, ever know you? How shall I, meditating you on you always, ever know you? Katham Vidyam. How will I know you? By constant meditation will I know. How? In what way? Keshu keshu cha bhaveshu. In what things are you to be thought by me? How do I contemplate you during meditation? How do I think about you? By doing which, how will I know you? I want to know about you much more. How should I do that? He says. What are the how should I meditate? In other words, because the whole world is a manifestation, and tell me which form. In other words, it means which forms. How should I think about it? Then vistarena atmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuyah kataya truptirhi shrunvato nasti me mritam. Speak to me in detail, Janardana, of your yogic powers and attributes, because I am never satisfied. So I will stop here. I'm not satiated. Satiated means my appetite is still there in hearing your speech. I'm still hungry. I'm still hungry. I still want to hear about you. A bhakta, true bhakta, a person who has surrendered, always wants to hear more and more of the divinity. More. He is not at all satisfied. He wants to listen to, because that attracts him so much, because of his pure mind, because of his love for God. So much is the attraction. If once we develop, then nothing can stop. we will become so much attracted. And as we were discussing about these girls, and there was a time when I also used to feel that I don't want anything. Let me just sit and that is attraction. We all are feeling that, right? That is attraction, and those are the convincing words of Krishna, which makes us so much attracted to the divinity, just like Radha was attracted to him, just like Arjuna is attracted, just like Prahalada, Dhruva. Bhakti is something so powerful. One step, my mother used to tell you, if you keep one step, it's given in Purana, of course. Keep one step, he comes 10 steps to you. That means our effort will, um, it will extract the grace from within. One effort inside. Inside means contemplation, also service, surrender outside. That will bring him, it will extract that consciousness, more divinity towards us. And once that is tasted with love, not mechanical, with love. So for that, we should be, actually, today we had this discussion. We should be very calm and more of listening. We should be more listening. There is another person called Sir M. If you have heard, please listen. By birth, he is from Islamic religion, but something happened. He had some vision, divine visions or something. Then he goes to Himalaya. He's still there on YouTube. His talks are there. So um, he in his one of his talks he mentions one parents come with a child to him. The boy is 7 year old. They say he knows how to speak, but he never speaks. Our son never talks to anybody. He's very silent. He's always to himself. So this master says, leave him to me. I will talk to him. And then he goes. I think it's Sir M only. Yeah. So then that boy, he asked that boy, why you don't speak? You'll be astonished to hear from him. Parents are not there. What to speak about that Lord? If I speak, I'll be committing a mistake. He has to be experienced. This is a dialogue that boy says. So parents are also highly spiritual people. They're all into spiritual practices. That's how they come to Sarim. But look at him. He is born with such a knowledge. He says, क्या बोलने का? हिंदी में he says, क्या बोलना है उसके बारे में? कुछ बोले तो चला जाएगा. कुछ बोले तो चला जाएगा. I mean, nothing remains if I speak. I just don't want to speak. I speak only when required. Parents would have told when he wants food, when he wants to go. That's all he speaks. So the lesson is when we start advancing, our bhakti should be also complemented with less talking, less words, minimal words, being real, and listening. Keep listening, keep observing, keep learning. Sometimes inevitably we have to listen to people's talks which may not be useful for us, which you may feel a hindrance, but it is inevitable. During such time we should follow like a tortoise, how it withdraws its limbs. And that means our indriyas, our ears, eyes, there is no need to be attentive there, but to contemplate within. Pretend you are listening, don't listen. That is one type. That is one form when you feel utterly this listening is not going to help. Elsewhere, the listening should become our learning, and always with that divine consciousness, if we listen to people where it is required, where it is required to empathize or be compassionate. So there, this listening will add to our spiritual evolution. So listening is one of the very, very important quality which a bhakta will eventually become silent. Eventually, he will become more silent, less speech, more listening, or he'll be in his own world and he will not be over talkative or over expressive. There is no need. So this is how Krishna guides us. And then from the next shloka, we'll take it in the next session. He starts. So if he starts with his vibhuti, all manifestations, he will explain where all you can see me more manifested. He's always there, more manifested. As I told you, our ahankara tamas will obstruct. Wherever there is no tamasikata, his reflection is manifest more and more. That we shall see. So here we conclude today's session. Any thoughts on this? Anybody wants to add? It's open. Yes, anybody? Peter, anything you want to add?
Ma'am, that person's name is Sri M.
Sri M, yeah, not
Yes.
Sir M. Sri M, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
I have
heard it.
attended his talks, ma'am.
Very beautiful, no? I
Yes,
think he's
yes.
from Kerala only, yeah.
Kerala only. He has worked with Jiddu Krishnamurti.
Is it so? He has worked with him?
Yeah, he was a teacher in Valley School. He was teaching in Valley School.
Sir M? Sri M?
Sri M. Mumtaz Ali. His real name is Mumtaz Ali. He's a Muslim. But yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Very, yeah.
Wonderful.
Very good talks, actually.
He's a realized soul, ma. We can
yes,
make
yes, yes,
realized soul. Very, very. Please share some of his things. There are small reels, very profound statements he makes. So,
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, very, very knowledgeable. Enlightened soul. Sir, Sri M, not Sir M. Sri M. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Anybody has to add on anything? Peter, you want to add something? So,
yes, I have just to back up. Earlier, you were talking about Dharma, and you said Dharma is outside, and then you used a term I was not familiar with, umbrata.
Amrita.
Amrita.
Amrita. Amrita is immortality, or immortality is liberation. So, Gita is called Dharmyamritam. Yetu Dharmyamritam idam in 12th chapter. This somehow I always, I like to, I am very much impressed. This Jagannathananji explains Dharmyamritam idam. Dharma, which is Amrita also. Dharma, Amrita, Amrita. Amrita is like a, which brings immortality. Amrita. Mrita is death. Amrita, there is no death. That means you have conquered that death or liberated. Bhagavad Gita brings dharma also, so that you live righteously in harmony in the society, and it will bring Amrita Tattva. Amrita means liberation. Yetu dharmyamritamidam yathoktam paryupasate. That is a last statement in 12th chapter. Bhakti Yoga. It comes there. So that is Dharma Amrita.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah, welcome. Anyone else? Anybody has anything to add? Can add. Yeah.
Ma'am, one doubt, ma'am. This meaning of Vibhuti word you said as power of manifestation, no? I mean, I'm not getting whether we have to consider as power or manifestation or
Both. Both. See, manifestation is appearance. Okay.
Yes, yes.
If I can tell you, anatomy, the body is there. What is the power in that? That which makes it perform. Right? That which makes it perform. Blood vessels are there. Circulation gives life to that blood vessels, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Circulation and blood vessels. Sun and brightness. Vibhuti. He goes on explaining that. Power of manifestation means that manifestation is, you can take manifestation also, only manifestation is also Vibhuti only. But if you add power to that, then it becomes more impressive. When you add power of that manifestation, manifestation is appearing based on some power. So that power is Krishna.
Okay.
Manifestation word meaning is appearance. It is seen, manifest, isn't it? So
Yes.
what is the power? Because of his Vibhuti. Okay.
Then only power is the, exact meaning of Vibhuti.
Power behind manifestation. Yeah.
Karma Yoga, Gnana, all other chapters are also explaining about manifestation, no, ma'am. Then, all are contributing something. Gnana is also contributing, Bhakti is also contributing for manifestation. Then,
no, for what? Jnana Bhakti, for what you are saying? For divine manifestation.
Divine manifestation.
Correct. See, this is a point. Now, Jnana, Bhakti and all, they start invoking the divinity within, and that manifests through the human, right? Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, who is doing that? This body, correct? Is the universe doing? It refers to whom? Yoga. It refers to me and you, Arjuna,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
So this, so far we have learned that we are contributing, we are through our efforts,